Hey YouTube, it's my Isha Marie and I'm back with another video. So in this video, me and my boys are gonna be building a it's like a lean-to slash it's a pergola, but it's like a lean-to, and then it's gonna be like a porch. Not a porch, but like a screened in patio. Man, it's a patio cover that's screened in. Anyway, so ever since I moved into this house, it's been 3 years now. I've been trying to make a comfortable, cozy little outdoor setting on my patio. And this is the third try. And I've actually cut down 2 posts that I have just recently put in the ground for a sail shade. So I was like, I'm just going to recycle these and continue a permanent project. So I started with 4x4s and these black brackets I got from Amazon. So once I got the 4x4 posts anchored down into my concrete, then I had to start on the roof. So I took some 2x4 and I placed that all the way around the exterior of the pergola. And I did that so that I'll have the ability to screw wood down anywhere at the top without having to screw into my brackets. And then also this gave me a little bit more height because I wanted the roof to be kind of aligned with the roof of my house. All right, so then I took some more 2x4s and then I went across the pergola and I secured those with some hurricane straps. I also attached them to a piece of wood going across the house that was already there. When you're trying to do a DIY project, but you don't have no pickup truck. Luckily, I have a hardware store literally down the street from my house. So if I need anything, I could just go and find a way to put it on my car, on my Camry, and bring it to the house. Now, in some cases, I do have to ask, like, if I get a lot of wood, I do need to ask, like my aunt, she has a truck. Ask her to just follow me to Lowe's or somewhere. Because the hardware store down the street, their wood is much higher than Lowe's. So, preferably, I would just go to Lowe's to get my wood. And honestly, there was no plan into this. As I went, I just took it one step at a time and just did what made sense. So, I would look at it some days and be like, okay, I need to make sure that don't move if the wind blow. Or I'll look at it a different day and be like, okay, I need some more screws in that because, this might fall over. I just kind of look at it and be like, what makes sense? Do that make sense like this? So, that's how I pretty much did the whole project. But at the same time, I did watch 100,000 YouTube videos. Like, I watch a lot of videos on people screening in their porches, building pergolas, building gazebos, a lot of DIY porch makeover projects, stuff like that too, because I needed some kind of professional input. So, and I think in my next video with me finishing this, I'm going to talk about the price, because if you would have told me how much this costs and told me I had to pay it all up front, I probably would have said, nah, I'm good. But when you buy little pieces at a time, you can only build so much at a time. So the first thing I started with was 8 4x4s and the brackets. So the brackets were number like $150 on Amazon. And the 4x4 posts were like, what, $16 a piece, I think. I don't even think that was that much. But the thing is, if you start like a little bit at a time, like, of course you're not gonna buy, I didn't buy all my material at one time. I started with what I knew I could do. So I was like, I'm gonna just start with what I know I can do. Once I do that, then you be like, okay, now I need to go buy this, the next step. That's how I did this whole thing. I literally just said, okay, what's the next step? then go buy the stuff, then do it. And sometimes when you get the stuff, it take you a week or two to finish. So that's with any DIY project. I mean, if you're doing it yourself. Once I finished this part, I had took a little break because it had been raining every day, and before I could paint, or not really paint, well, yeah, before I could put my um wood protector on, I had to make sure it didn't rain for at least 2 days in a row. And at this point, it was raining every day. So I took a little break. I took like a 2 week break in between just to make sure it didn't rain on my the finish that I was gonna put on top of the wood. Originally, I wanted this to be black, but I didn't find a black paint, or I didn't find a black finish to give me protection that I needed for my wood. All of my wood wasn't pressure treated, so I wanted to make sure the wood was protected more than I wanted, the color to be black. So I just went with the color that would actually give me that protection. And this actually worked out because the red, it actually matches the brick on the house. Okay, so before I put my sheet metal on top, I had to run some 1x4s perpendicular to my 2x4s, just so that my sheet metal can have something that I can screw it into. And I just want to say I'm not even close to a professional, so I just had a vision for what I wanted as far as an outdoor seating area for my kids, mainly because my daughter loves to be outside. But bugs, wasps, mosquitoes, it's just too many bugs. So I just wanted to have a space where we could sit outside and be comfortable. I didn't know what I was doing, so I just took it a step at a time, and eventually it'll become, what I'm looking for. All right, so at this point, my son was helping me put the sheet metal on top of the pergola. So first, I tried to put one piece at a time and screw it in, but then I realized I couldn't reach far enough. Even if I got in between the little spaces up top, I couldn't reach over far enough, and the metal was hard to puncture with the screws. So I had to put a lot of body weight on top of those screws in order to drive it down into the metal. So what I had to do basically, so each piece on the corner, it overlaps the first piece. So what I did was, once I put it up there and it's in the position where it's overlapped to the first one, I just put 2 screws in it, and then I just went ahead and put the next one up, put 2 screws in it, and then at the end, I went up top. My son helped me. I was scared too. I got on my ladder and I just climbed on top and stepped on the roof, and walked over it and just put the screws in. And it was easier that way because I could just push down using my body weight. And yeah. And then also, my roof on my house is metal, so I was looking at it the way they had the screws, and that helped me figure out the pattern as far as where to put them. And I ended up using 4 pieces of is it 4 or 5? I think I got 4 pieces of I got 4 pieces of 12-foot sheet metal. And when it rains, I forgot to mention this, the 2x4s that I put first, the ones that's connected to the house, if you notice, it's higher toward the house and lower. It's sitting straight on the 2x4 at the other end. That's just to give it a slope. It's like a small slope, just so the rain could run off the roof and, into the yard. And when I got up on the roof, I didn't even screw in the ones on the edge. I said I was. When I got up there, I was like, I'm just going to do the whole roof. since I'm up here just to get it over with. But I didn't want to even step toward the edge because I was scared I was going to fall off. So I just did the ones in the middle. Okay, so this is the finished, well, so far how it's looking, finished product. Stay tuned for part two, which will be me framing and screening this area.